and the soap opera that is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I've been out here for a few years now defending Jalen Hurts. I have demanded that Mr. Cowherd, every time he refers to Hurts, refer to him as Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts. But the drama is undeniable between Hurts and his former BFF, A.J. Brown. And yesterday, for the first time, Hurts met the media. And, of course, he's peppered with questions. Hey, what's up with you and A.J. Brown? And Hurts, very calm, cool, and collected, takes a sip of water, makes a little joke and says, I haven't talked to A.J. I saw the beautiful wedding photos. It looks like he had a great time. I'm happy for him. But, yeah, I haven't talked to him since the end of the season. We had a guest on this week who said, hold up. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts go way back. They were on recruiting visits together. They were FaceTiming each other. These guys were tight. Now they haven't spoken, not even a text message. You can't hit them with a what up, bro? You want to work out, want to throw somewhere? Nothing? I mean, I think we all know right now it's very problematic. And for some reason, everybody seems to be blaming Hurts. We had James Palmer on the show earlier this week talking about Hurts, and I'm defending him. And you take a listen to James Palmer.
Andy Reid told me after Jalen lost to the Chiefs in that first Super Bowl meeting, it's the best Super Bowl performance he's ever seen anyone ever play. And when the stage gets big, Jalen Hurts usually comes through. I've always been told this. I think this is the biggest part. If Jalen fully trusts it, he will evolve and he will change. That's what Sean Mannion has to do, is kind of convince Jalen that these are the things we have to do as an organization to be good offensively. And Jalen will buy in if he fully trusts it.
Yeah, it's very weird. Just the drama. It's just never ending. Do you guys remember when you were young kids in elementary school and you'd be sick and you'd stay home from school and you'd watch like The Price is Right and Love Boat, and inevitably, your mom would be watching like a soap opera or something as the world turns, and you just tune in and you're like, oh, this is happening, and you're falling in and out of sleep. So then 6 months later or a year later, you're sick again, same deal watching these shows. And then you notice, this is the same drama that was happening a year ago. What is this show? And, well, it's soap operas. It's the same nonsense every year, okay? For 30 years, Days of Our Lives, whatever. I don't pay attention to soap operas now. But I feel like over the last 4 years, it's whether it's Big Dom on the sidelines, whether it's people blaming Jalen Hurts for a bad performance, people hating the tush push, A.J. Brown upset reading a book on the sideline. I still don't know why they had an inflatable bunny rabbit in the locker room. None of this makes sense, but it's always nonsense. And I could understand if this were my Jets, a dysfunctional franchise, or this were the Cleveland Browns or the Raiders, just bad franchises with terrible owners who are going nowhere. This is the Eagles.
Okay, we were so close at times, then we got so far away. We were close. We were far. We were close. We were far. I thought we were going to stick to landing. Then we didn't. And then Palmer says something interesting, and then he says something. I'm like, wait, what? What? He has to convince Jalen Hurts to change and buy it. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay. By the way, I have an awesome Eagles video coming out on Sunday. Be on the lookout for that. I cannot that just like it just happened. Honestly, it just happened. It just happened. So, please be on the lookout for that video cause I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But before I jump into it, Philadelphia Eagles fans, please do not forget to subscribe and watch the full length of the video. When you guys do that, views go through the roof. Subscribers go through the roof. And it's not about chasing views. It's not about chase subscribers. It's about being able to create Philadelphia Eagles content that people genuinely want to watch and discuss so we can keep having the most unbiased, grounded, honest conversations about the Philadelphia Eagles because we know it could be hard to have unbiased, grounded, honest conversations about the Philadelphia Eagles. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? There's sometimes I give that little speech and it's like because like no one's talking about the team, like no one's talking about you, and I'm just trying my best to like let's just actually have conversations. And then there's other teams like the Philadelphia Eagles where it's like there's no shortage of Eagles content. There is absolutely positively no shortage of Philadelphia Eagles content. But is it the most unbiased? Is it the most grounded? Is it the most nuanced? It is not. It is not. Unless of course you're watching here. So, okay. First off, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are no longer friends. That happens. Why are we trying to act like that is the biggest thing to happen in the history of the world? It happens. The one of the closest friends, if not the closest friend I have ever had in my entire life. Grew up together. We're friends for years and years and years and years. We were brothers. I don't talk to him anymore. We don't talk. Just happens. Just happens. It's life. We were the best of friends. We used to hold hands and skip into sunsets. We don't talk. We used to have a catch together actually. We used to have catches. Baseball catch, football, play basketball. We used to tell each other secrets. We're not friends. We don't talk. It's like, oh, no. No. It's life. It's literally life. It happens. But with Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, it's like, have you ever seen anything like this ever happen before? Yeah. All the time. It's life. I've been in people's weddings who I don't talk to anymore. I've been a best man multiple times because I'm just that amazing. But I've been a best man multiple times. And a BU. NCH of those people I don't talk to anymore. Again, it's life. Maybe I'm the common denominator. Maybe I'm just the problem. I don't know. Maybe I need to really look within. Just kidding. But it's just the way it is, man. So, we don't have to turn like what? You can't text each other and say, hey, you want to throw the ball around? Why? What? A.J. Brown's not going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. Or at least that's not the intention. Jalen Hurts is right now at OTAA. He's putting in the work. He's working with Sean Mannion. Like he's put in the work. He's talking to my lemon, Devontae, Dallas Goedert, right? New tight end whose name has completely escaped me right now. It's going to take me like 5 months before I finally can remember his name forever. Took me forever to remember Zach Z's name, but so yeah, like this stuff is it's just life. Why you want to talk about it being a soap opera? Do you know who makes it a soap opera? The media. The media makes it a soap opera. It's just business for the Eagles. It's just football. It's just the way how sports sometimes unfolds. I mean, you're talking about the Jets or the Browns or what, and it's like what's the point of that? Like, what's the literal point in that? There's no point. And it's just right. Jalen Hurts gets the blame and all that focal point because that's the media narrative. I mean, that's just flat out the media narrative. UW. And to know what's also actually really interesting. Again, this is one of the many benefits of reading so many comments that I do because I honestly actually feel like I have genuinely a great grasp on how people feel because this is a legitimate sample size of fans. These I'm interacting with like actual NFL fans who are watching the games. Like I'm actually like I am interacting with them daily at a pretty large level at a high rate in it, and it's not just like centered on like in the comments section of like of an ESPN video or something like that, right? It's just like it's all different videos. Bills videos, Eagles videos, Chiefs video, right? Like it's just so it really I think it gives me like a really great perception of all of this, right? I really do, and it's something that I appreciate tremendously. And what I actually find really interesting is that Jalen Hurts no doubt has haters. No doubt about it. And people leave some of the most absurd comments you could imagine. Like the most absurd comments you could imagine about Jalen Hurts, but the media momentum for the criticism of Jalen Hurts is so much louder than the fans. And it's not just I'm really separating. And this is where it can be a little bit difficult because I got to try to draw the lines between like Eagles fans and Chiefs fans, Mahomes fans, Lamar fans, Hurts fan, right? It's like you kind of to try to figure out like who you're talking to. Every time I read a comment, I always have to kind of figure out like is this coming from a place of bias? Is this coming from a place of analysis? Is this fandom? Like where are we? Does this guy just hate me right now? Is he just want to disagree with me? Like what's where is all this coming from? But like majority of the things that happen without the Eagles that ends up being like a big deal feels like it's so much more emphasized with the media and with the soap opera aspects of it. Like take even that bunny thing for a second. Like yeah, I could care less about that bunny. Like it meant nothing to me. And yet like I remember them making a story about it. And yet, like again in the comments section, like nobody cared. Nobody was talking about it. It didn't matter at all. Like seriously, like nobody was talking about it. Even the whole book thing, right? Again, of course, we were all talking about it, but in such a different way. The volume of the conversation was so much lower than what it was in the media. So, like anything, whatever happens with the Philadelphia Eagles, when it gets filtered through the lens of the media, it gets magnified and catapulted to the absolute extreme. It's essentially what we see with Mahomes, except it's done in the positive with Mahomes. I know I just evoked Mahomes again. I know. I'm just trying to bash and bring down Mahomes. I'm sorry. I apologize. But it just reminds me of how no matter any positive thing that Mahomes does, it's just the greatest thing that's ever been done in the history of the world. And with the Eagles, when there's anything that's imperfect or something that could even be remotely steered in a negative light, it's just like push that button, 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 push it, push it, push it, push, 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 push. And this is like the perfect example of this of like A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts like no longer really talking and it's just like I don't know man whose side should you take? The person who's like really mature. The person who's willing to do whatever it takes to win. The person who just puts his head down and gets to work. Or the guy who throws tantrums, who's thrown multiple tantrums. He threw a tantrum in 2022 in the playoffs when nobody was questioning Jalen Hurts' ability. At that point in 2022, nobody was questioning Jalen Hurts. They actually weren't. It was like the year, the only season that nobody was actually questioning Jalen Hurts. They're all like, this guy is great. That's why he was an actual genuine MVP in the MVP conversation. Sure, people thought Mahomes is better or that he deserved the MVP over Jalen, but like nobody was actually downplaying Jalen Hurts in that moment. It was the only season that he wasn't actually like undercut very step of the way and A.J. Brown was still thrown fit and was still upset and everybody needed to calm him down. I remember it so vividly. I just wish I could remember the game it was. It was either the Giants, it was at the end of the Giants game or at the end of the 49ers game and he needed to everyone. It was like Jalen needed to talk to him. Devontae needed to talk to him. Nick Sirianni needed to talk to him and I'm just like are you kidding me right now? I just remember thinking you're going to go in the Super Bowl. You're going to go to the NFC Championship game like it's not about you. And ever since that moment, I've always been hyper aware of every time someone else scores a touchdown and I immediately try to see if I see what A.J. Brown is up to. Is he excited? Is he happy? Is he cheering? Is he dancing with them? Like, what's he doing? What's his mentality? And you know what, Nick the other day, right, said that Patrick Mahomes is the most underrated player, which we all know that that's insane. Jalen Hurts' unselfishness is easily one of the most underrated aspects not only to him individually but just in terms of any skill set for any star athlete. And so it's like when all of this kind of goes down, like you know what, I'm going to lean on more of to the more mature person. Like I have a couple friendships that are just no longer. As I told you before, one of them was probably more my fault. The other one as a lot less my fault. One I could say, you know what, maybe that's 60% me, 40% them. The other one I could be like, maybe like 20% me, 80% them. It's like, that's just life. That's just life. And it's like, you know what? Just keep on keeping on. That's why I grew up with the quote with the Allen Iverson poster, 1 million people are going to love you. 1 million people are gonna hate you. Worry about the ones that love you and keep on stepping. Had that on my wall. I lived by it. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? I already posted a video prior about like the actual trade discussion itself. I probably should have said that at the top. So if you haven't seen that, it's like a first things first clip where they were talking about it. So definitely check that out if you wanted to think more about the actual trade with A.J. Brown. But J-Mac took this into a whole soap opera aspect. I think he's watched a lot of soap operas, but he doesn't want to admit it. Buddy, it's okay. We're all allowed to watch whatever TV shows we want. It's 2026. There's no rules about what you're allowed to watch or not watch. Say it with your chest. You love Days of Our Lives. Days of Our Lives. Time of Our Lives. I honestly actually don't know. I'd admit if I watch soap operas I don't. But let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either let's get to some discussions. Let's get to some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much.